Someone narrated a frightening incident that took place in their locality. That there was this family who was watching TV when one of the daughters was reciting the Quran in a different room. When one of the younger daughters came to her and said, "Papa, one of your best movies coming, you have to come and see, join us." So she closed the Quran, put a mark there and went to the other room with the rest of the family to watch TV, watch the movie. During that time she had broken her wudu. After watching the movie, she came back and without performing new wudu, she started reciting the Quran. When she started reciting the Quran, she noticed a small lizard about 6 to 7 inches long, staring at her with fiery eyes. She was frightened, and all of a sudden the lizard jumped on her head and started biting her. And she started screaming so loud that everyone gathered to her room. They tried to remove the lizard with a stick, etc., but they were unable to. Within few seconds, lizards from all directions came and jumped on top of her, biting her. She started screaming. They couldn't do anything, screaming so much that within few minutes they had bitten her to death. And you can imagine the entire family was screaming of agony and pain, seeing their sister or their daughter bitten to death alive in front of them. Now they couldn't do anything, they couldn't remove the lizards, and they were too frightened to do anything. They called one of the elders of the family. He came. This was a person who was pious and he had some knowledge of the religion. He gave them mashwara and advice that maybe we can try to put the TV next to her, since in the spiritual world everything is fearful of the TV. So when they did that, they realized all the lizards have moved away. In the meantime, they had called the ambulance, the doctors, everyone came. They just couldn't do anything. She had already died. So they started the process of bathing the body, shrouding and performing janazah salah over her. But they realized that every time they moved the TV, the lizards came back. So the pious elder, he gave them mashwara that keep the TV next to her, so that you can carry out your duties of bathing and shrouding and performing salah. Taking the dead body to the graveyard, they realized that the lizards are following the deceased. So the elder advised them that maybe you should bury the TV with her. That may help her, or it may not, but Allahu Alam, it may do something. So they decided to do that. After burial, all the family members were crying with grief, but they couldn't do anything. What has happened has happened. They made dua and started to leave the graveyard. While they were going away from the grave, after 20-30 yards or so, they heard a loud bang and loud noise, a scream. They turned towards the grave and they realized that the grave has burst open and the entire body was thrown out of the grave into pieces. You can imagine the grief and the fear of the family and how much it had increased. But they couldn't do anything. People ran away from the graveyard and the family started weeping even more, but what could they do? The pious person said this could all be because of her disrespect of the Quran and reciting the Quran without wudu and giving preference to watching a movie over the Quran. May Allah protect us.
إلهنا ما بعد لك مليك كل من ملك.